So hey, welcome to the 10-10 movement, which is all about helping you turn areas of your life where you may be struggling into more success, what we call living a more 10 out of 10 life experience. Now, today I'm going to be sharing one of the biggest things that gives us the struggle part of our life. And it's probably not what you think it is. And I'm going to give you one tool that is going to turn everything around as long as you play full out and utilize it every day. So, the thing that shapes our life almost more than anything is that when we're very small, like this is between the age of, being born almost, to about 7, we are very open. We are very open, and everything we see around us, we sort of take in, and it shapes our world for the rest of our life. Now, if it shapes our world with a more negative tag, that is a real pain, and that is what gives us so many people so much of a struggle throughout their life. Now, if we are going to turn it around and become more successful, we need to get rid of that negative tag. Now, this isn't for the faint-hearted, so listen up. I'm going to share with you one amazing tool that I've used and I've shared with thousands of people how they can use it, and they've turned things around to get more of a plus instead of a minus against their life. So, the big thing that happens when you're sort of between 0 and 7, let's say, is that if you've taken things on with a negative tag, normally it's because one or a very small number of large things have happened in your life. Large things that sent our energy in a downward spiral and put us what I call in fight and flight mode. So let me give you my example of what happened to me. Now, it will seem to many people who lived in very difficult lives and very difficult circumstances that my own version of what happened to me is actually pretty damn tiny. But as a little 4-year-old, it had a massive impact on my life and led me to be very careful, should we call it, very aware that I could be in danger at any minute. So it was like I was left on guard with adrenaline in my system and left in a fight and flight mode, which I didn't realise until I was 47 years. So from the age of 4 to 47, I lived with a negative tag next to my whole life experience. Now, all that happened is when I was young, I broke a window. Now, I came from a family, a household, where money was pretty tight. And my mum saw the broken window, and she was not happy about that. Now, to that time, I don't remember my mum ever being aggressive or difficult with me in any way, shape or form. She was very loving, very caring. But this incident, what we call a significant emotional event, happened on my 4th birthday, when I was bought a little gun, like a kid's gun, and actually it shows my age. It had a cork in the end with a piece of string, so you didn't lose your cork. Anyway, I went round like his little 4-year-old would, shooting everything, and then I decided to see what would happen if I shot the window. So I shot the window, and boom, it absolutely broke. Now, when my mum saw it, not good. So what she did, I have an elder brother and an elder sister, and myself, so she sort of lined us all up, the 3 of us, and said, look. And she was very angry. I'd not seen her in this state before. I want to know who broke the window. But she was so angry that I was like going, whoa, that doesn't look good. I mean, I'm 4, so I don't know. This is a significant moment where for the first time ever, my mum is really angry. Anyway, nobody put their hand up because I was actually very frightened of what was going to happen. I didn't know. If you think about it, if you don't know what's going to happen, you become somewhat fearful. So if you're uncertain, fear tends to rise in your body. And I've not seen my mum like this. Anyway, she then changed her approach, and she got down very low, sort of kneeled on the floor and said, look, I'm not going to tell anybody off, but I need to know who broke the window. So she changed her tone, she changed her physical self, her body language was much kinder, much nicer, much more like my normal one. So I thought, oh, that sounds okay as a little 4-year-old. So I put my hand up, and bless her, she then hit me. Now, don't blame my mum, please. Don't blame my mum, bless her. She was doing the best she could. She lived in a very stressful world with 3 kids. There was only a year apart for each of us, so she had 3 kids in 3 years. We had very little money. She had a job. My grandmother, my mum's mum, lived with us as well. And we all lived in this quite small house. So it was a very stressful environment. And I think the breaking of the window just led her to do this one thing that time. But what it did to me is it created me to be very frightened, very wary of my mum, bless her. And she, over my younger life, ruled us with a bit of an iron fist. She always had this sort of stick and she sort of threatened us with it. Now, having been hit when I was 4, well, that wasn't a very nice experience. So I was literally always on guard. And so this is what we call a significant emotional event. Now, significant emotional events normally lead you to run a pattern. So as I look back, I can see how my pattern put me on guard around my mum. I was super wary of her, didn't really trust her, because she'd sort of gone from this sort of, you know, angry state to this friendly state and then angry again. And I, as a 4-year-old, was very confused. So just think about your life. What significant events when you were little, now it doesn't have to be 0 to 7, it can be your teenage years, for example, are very vulnerable as well to significant events, you know. So just think about what might have happened in your life when you were little that was significant. Now, if it's true, and I believe it to be so because of my own personal experience, and I've helped thousands of other people look at these areas of their life, and nearly always they've got negative experiences or what we call significant emotional events when they were small, still affecting their life today because their pattern of behaviour was sort of like, you know, they were moulded with that behaviour, and that behaviour has carried on. It certainly was until I became aware of it 43 years later, which time I was able to make a choice to, well, once you become aware, of course, you're a massive choice because you can start to see what you were doing that didn't work, yeah? So all these years I've run these patterns to protect myself, but actually they were giving me a not very good experience of life. So my tool that I learned, which is, you know, scoffed by some, but, you know, millions of people around the world use these tools, and it's the tool of what's known as affirmations. Now, some people rubbish affirmations, but look, there are different types of affirmations. But I'm going to share with you probably the most difficult, but because it's the most difficult, it gets fantastic results as long as you play full out and utilize it a lot. So here it is. This is what I have been saying to myself for a very, very long time. So you'll notice that actually your inner mind has conversations with itself. And actually they're the things that's got like this negative tag. So I learned to put something in its place by consciously, deliberately, should we say, stating this. So this is what I said. I said, I love everything and everyone, including myself, all of the time. I love everything and everyone, including myself, all of the time. Now, this is actually quite a tough statement to say because actually, you know, what's the truth? Do you actually love yourself? Do you love everybody else? Could you do it all of the time? Could you love everything? You know, I actually sometimes go, I love everything and everyone, including myself, all of the time. Everything. I mean, that means every fly. You know, I used to kill flies en masse. I lived near a farm, and then I just managed to turn it around and go, look, maybe they're not bad things, you know. So I started to see them. I saw them as angels instead of, you know, something that was dirty and horrible that I needed to kill. So saying this can reprogram you so that you start to see the world anew, and the success of your life will start to go up as you take away those negative tags. So that's pretty much it. You know, trust you've got something from it. I encourage you to have a go with the affirmation. I'll pop it on the screen there for you so that you can see it at the end. Make a note of it and see if you can say it, or make something up for yourself that sort of inspires you, empowers you, and as long as it's got a positive tag next to it, it's going to make a difference. So if this is your first time to the 10-10 movement, a big hugging welcome, and please do hit the subscription button and the notification bell, which then informs you when new videos go up online. And if you've got a great experience from this, or if you watch any of the other videos on the 10-10 movement channel and you get a great experience from them, please do hit the share buttons and share it with your family, your friends, your colleagues, because all of these videos are aimed at making you more successful in areas of your life where you may be struggling right now. So that's it from me, Tony Vee, from the 10-10 movement. I'm going to pop a couple of videos up there for you to also click and have a look at. And until the next video, I'll see you then. Bye for now.